Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Christy from My Artful Adventures, and today we are in an event with the Woodpecker Paper Crafters events. And so this our event is titled Mystical and Magical. So if you aren't seeing the little red live button, then you're watching a replay. I'd love for you to let me know that you were here and that you watched. So we are streaming to Facebook and to YouTube, and so if you hear me commenting to something and you don't see a comment, that would be why. But I am so glad that you are here this evening. Hi, Estella. And so we are going to get started in just a moment. And our hostesses are Sherry from Sunshine Designs and Tamara from Tees Crafty Creations. Tees Crafty Fox Creations. See, I knew I could get it. Thanks for being patient. So today we are going to make a cute little booklet from a printable, and it's a little mini booklet. Hi Sue, hi Brenda. And so we are going to get started on that in just a minute. Let me pull up my my comments. Oh my gosh, there's probably a reason I do not usually do lives at this time of evening. It gets kind of chaotic here, like I'm sure many of you have quite the, the stuff going on at home, right, in the afternoons, the evenings. But, we'll, it's just, you never know what can happen. So if you hear any chaos back there, don't get too concerned. Don't be scared for me. Hi, Barbara. So I am going to just, let me see here. Let me move my keyboard out of the way. This is going to be so cute. Now, and mystical and magical can take on kind of different forms. Some of them can be kind of eerie, spooky, whatever, and some of them can be more kind of fun and fairy tale like. And so I'm going with kind of the fun variety this evening. And then after me is going to be Tamara from Tees Crafty Fox Creations. Oh my gosh, now I gotta look and see if I said that. Crafty Fox. Yes, I did it this time. So there we go. But welcome. I'm so glad that you're with me tonight. And we are gonna not waste any time here. We do have an hour this evening though, so I'm not sure. I haven't made one of these. I know what to do, and you can follow along here, and I'll show you where I got this. It's a printable, and I found it on, I believe, Etsy. Yes, it was an Etsy store. And as soon as I pop you down here to my desktop, I'll show you where it came from. This is such a fun little way to make this. It is very, very different than anything that I have used before. Just a second, let me see. Okay, I had something pop up that said I had something muted. I'm like, well, that's not going to be good. But we're good. I think we're good to go. But this is going to be what it is. Isn't this just so adorable? It's these little fairies. It's going to be this teeny tiny little book. And the name of her shop is called Moonsteam. Let me get it up here. Moonsteam Design Studio. And I had never seen one of these. I had seen something a little bit like it, but when I saw the way that she had these to put together, I'm like, well, that's really unique. And so I like to sometimes try and find things that are somewhat different so that, and once you see like how something is put together, you can always go from there and make it your own, right? You can design something that you want, just yourself. So let me see here. Okay. So thanks for this. This has been a fun day. Lots of different things. And there is Sherry with us in the comments now. So thank you for you and Tamara putting this group together. This is a lot of fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to just start out right now. And we're going to cut out our pieces. I really just left this clear until the end because I kind of thought that if I tried to do too much ahead of time, I would just be left with nothing to do. So there you have it. So we're going to cut these out, and so these strips are going to be the signatures to the little booklet. And a signature is just a group of pages, in case you're not familiar too much with bookmaking. So they're in these sections that have 4 strips, and each of those 4 segments, so to speak, is going to make one signature to the little book. And then we'll do some other things on it too. We'll zhuzh it up a little bit. How about that? And I tell you what, if you go and you look at her little mini books, I think she's got about 6 different ones. And if you look at them, you will see that my printout, I tell you what, I printed this out several times. And the one that is on the monitor when you're looking at it, it has a lot more green to it. And I really did like it the way that, that it was on the screen. And I don't know, I tried several times to print it out. I tell you, one of the good things to do if you really want to get something and have its color be very true, I would suggest taking it to somewhere like one of the office stores, like FedEx, Kinko's, and have it printed, somewhere like that. Ooh, this one's going to be hard to do. Let me snip off the edges here. I can't line that up. It's too far from my edge here. And I'm sure you could even just use scissors on this. In fact, maybe I will just use scissors. I might get a better cut with that. I love these scissors with these long blades. This is one of the ones that come from Tim Holtz. And they have these long blades, and it makes it really easy to cut through and make a nice straight line. So if you're in the market for a good pair of long blade scissors, I don't think you can go wrong with these. And look here, even though my paper trimmer, I kind of need to trim that up a little bit more. Hasn't this been fun? And there's our Texas Breeze Creations. Hey there. Man, our Texas weather has cooled down today, right? Oh my goodness. My daughter has been outside and she has been covering up her garden. We weren't really expecting this after the summer heat that we had. We finally had some things that took off and are just growing like crazy. We have got an eggplant that is just ginormous, and it is just so full of eggplants, and she keeps picking them off, and she's got a lot of friends that are happy to have them as well. So we've been spreading the goodness. And then the one thing that right now is the most prolific is a loofah squash. And I don't know how many of you know, but some of those loofahs that you can buy are actually a squash. They're the inside of a squash. Have you ever seen one growing? It's really interesting. And that plant we're not really sure if it's just one plant though, because it did nothing all summer. And finally, when the weather started to cool down a little bit, we actually thought that it was a cucumber plant that was coming back to life. And so then the next thing we know, we see these giant long squash forming in there. And it has the most beautiful yellow blossoms. They're pretty big, and it's just so pretty. And the eggplant bloomed all summer, but did not produce one single thing. And then she had a friend that told her that it was because that it was too hot, that the pollen just was not viable in those kind of temperatures. And so I tell you what, that made us kind of sad. We did get a lot of tomatoes though, or a good amount of tomatoes. That was really the best thing. And there was also the other thing that came to life when it cooled off is a little, a Tabasco pepper plant. And those things are so, they are just, it is huge, and it is just full of those tiny little peppers. So, hello, Nana's Nook. So now this one, and look at this funny shape. This is why I thought this was so interesting, and I wanted to share this with you because it just is a very different little booklet than I had seen before. So this is actually the outside cover. How many of you have used any printables for your projects before? And maybe not making little book projects, but how many of you, for any of the things that you like to use, take advantage of using some printables? I'm really curious about that. You know, not all projects have to be started from scratch, and you know, you have to spend all your time doing everything. Take advantage of some of the, you know, the people that have spent all that time for doing design work. If you just like to make things and you want to enjoy some creative time, take advantage of those things. And a lot of times, they're not really all that expensive. And sometimes printables, you can even find printables that are free. A lot of the designers sometimes, when they show you how to create, you know, something that they're working on, a lot of times they will offer you part of a collection that they may have designed, and they will offer it for free. And so it's a great way to, you know, try out some different kinds of things and have some great, you know, fun with that. So Sue says she does. Hi, Amanda. And Sharon B is craft with me. Sue, yes, I know you have. Yes, we love printables, don't we? We really do. Hey, Brenda. Yeah. Yes, I did. How about you, Brenda? Did you get anything done today? Boy, I don't usually do two lives in a day, but since this was going to be on a little bit later, I've been trying to make it more regular on my page to come on, and right now I'm trying out 11 a.m. Well, it's 12 noon Eastern time. So for me, it's 11 o'clock, and I've been doing that on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then I also am live on Friday, and that's that's different times for what I'm doing on Friday. Different times. Okay, so that's all we need our paper trimmer for. So now we're going to work on putting it together. So first what you do is you just fold along the lines, and you don't even need to score. Just fold along the little lines where it was the little white line. And then I would just kind of try to square it up along the sides. And then we're going to do the same over here. And this is going to be one signature. And so it's going to be the front and the back. So actually you'll have 4 little sections here. And then we fold it in half. I don't know. I'm wondering if that should fold the other way. Probably. I don't know that that really matters. It'll actually work better like that for the way I've done it. You might need to keep it squared up better, but by doing it this way and folding it inside, otherwise these have got to be farther apart from that center fold. So I think we'll do that, and this will be the back of our signature. And now all you have to do is glue it down. And I got some glue, a glue stick, and if you want to use glue, this is just Elmer's. It's just school glue. I would not use this. I did not have any glue stick. Mine was all dried out. And so that was what I had. So sometimes you're just relegated. Actually, no, it wasn't what I had. I had to run to the store to grab something for supper. And so this was what I grabbed, because this was all they had were different varieties of Elmer's glue. And if I'm in the market for a new glue stick, that's not really what I want to use. So I wanted a new tube of, I think it's called Yoo-hoo? That doesn't sound right. I think it's UHU, and it's in a yellow tube. And that's what would be my preference to have. So I just went ahead and got this, and I thought, you know what? It's going to stick it together for us, and we'll get a chance to see how it all goes together. But look, couldn't be much easier than that for a little signature, right? Look at that. Isn't that cute? So we've got another couple of those to do. You didn't get as much as you wanted to have done, huh, Brenda? Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Thanks for sprinkling that out. That wasn't right. You try it again. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hit or miss when we are working with a new printable or something that is kind of a done, I don't want to say done for you project. Part of it is, it's kind of ready. It's kind of ready to go, ready for you to, to make it. And sometimes you kind of have to, it's kind of trial and error the first go around sometimes. I find that anyway. Right, yes. If you're, yes, Sharon, are you talking about the Elmer's glue stick? Yeah, it works better than anything. I wanted to use glue stick because I just thought that it would be great, just flat. You just get it on there all good and flat, and there you have it. Actually, I think I'm going to fold this one and then fold it back the other way so I can see where it is. But you aren't really even going to notice these tiny little, you could put a little ink on. I wonder if I have some ink in my drawer here that would be that color. Actually, I don't think I do, because I think I put all of it away. Always when you are ready to use something that normally may not have been put away, then boom, there you think you could have used it, right? Are you guys like that too? I'm telling you, my house is in my whole house, my craft room, everything is a terrible mess right now, and I have just got to take some time and get things put back in order. You have to do that at some point, right? You just can't let it go on and on and on in a terrible mess. Oh, Tamara, that's okay. Don't worry about it. If that's the worst thing that happens to me, I can live with it, right? And it's so funny because there's another one of our friends, Christy from Funky Junk Creations, that is how she spells her name. It's with a K, but she doesn't have an E at the end. And that's okay. All right, and then another one. So see, you just, go through. It's mostly just cutting it out and folding it up and gluing it together. And then after that, it's kind of up to you as to what you want to do to kind of fancify it. That's a good word, right? Fancify. I do wish that it had printed out better. I really loved the way it looked, but this has kind of got this pink rosy glow, so it looks pretty. Okay. And some of it, I don't know if you can tell, it's got a real faint little amount of text on here too. Can you see the script in the background? It's so fun. Oh, thank you. I tell you what, there are so many different papers, you guys, and you know, that's one thing about when you use printables. If you can get a printer that prints them out good, you know, it kind of keeps you from having to spend so much on like a full paper pad or something. And you know, of course, you're not going to get the same weight of paper as when you have a paper pad, but you know, sometimes whatever you're doing, you know, it's good enough. Oh, and by the way, in case you don't know, when you are printing out things like this, one of the really good things to print on is, it's called presentation paper. And this is just matte presentation paper. And it's not, there are different qualities of it. And this is not the most expensive kind. It's just kind of that, what do you want to say? Kind of the beginner level of presentation paper. And I tell you, it just, you know, it works out fine. Okay, now this one is going to be our back cover. You know, I think I'm going to grab a, let's see, let me grab a little brush. Oh, I already have one out. And then I think I'm going to ink some of the edges. Wait, let me see if I do have something that's a color. No, I was right. I put them away. Okay, so now this is going to be the front and the back cover. And so this was kind of interesting. I don't know, don't you wonder when you see things that people have designed for the construction of paper projects, don't you really wonder, you know, how in the world they came up with that? And, oh, well, what I was going to say is, it's not a cardstock weight. It's just like a printer paper weight. So it makes it really easy to fold and to, you know, cut and to get it all layered together. So I think that that's important if you're going to do something like this. Now, often when I am using, if I use a printable and it's going to be for like a folio or journal type thing, then I do go ahead and I print it on cardstock. And if you're printing it at home, one of the things that you might, if you don't have a printer that you print anything like that on, and you're in the market for one, when you're going to consider printing on cardstock, you probably want to think about a printer that one of the options is to print with the back feed, because then it doesn't have to go through the rollers. You know what I mean? Okay. And I don't remember which way she talked about doing this. I don't know that it really matters. Well, it does kind of matter, because if you fold these in here and these are this way, then you have a nice plain fold here. So I think that's probably what we need to do. And oh, and let's go ahead and, well, I'll go ahead and glue it first. You know, it's been so long since I used glue stick. I don't normally use glue stick. It's been so long since I used any that I forgot that some of these have this color so you can tell where you put it. then it dries clear. Thank you for sprinkling me out. Let's see. Yes, and that's true. To just be able to print the pages that you want. It's really kind of economical to do it that way, right? I'm just going to put a little bit more here on the edge. Have you guys been having fun watching everybody? It's a fun theme. And I know a lot of people don't do Halloween, and they don't, you know, like to They don't like all the mystical, magical stuff, but you know, there's a lot of people that do, and I think it's just kind of a fun theme. Okay. Let's see if I've got that straight. Just give it a good press. Oh my goodness. You know what? I was just reading about a friend who was on her own new printer journey, and she had several that she ended up taking. She was going to Best Buy and getting them, and then she'd take them home and try them out. And since she had time to take them back, she was taking them back if she didn't like them, because she said, you know, she had 15 days and she told them what she was doing, and she finally decided that what she liked best was the same kind that she had before, which was an HP, some kind of an HP printer. And so I thought that was really interesting that she just found that, you know, that was what she liked best. I have an Epson EcoTank printer, and I like it because I tell you, I don't even worry anymore about how much ink I'm going through. Okay, so here we've got our little front and back cover, and now we're going to put this one in. This will be the inside cover. So I'm going to fold it this way first so I can see where the line is. Get a little crease, and now I can fold it back the other direction. Thank you. Yes, I think that was a good idea. And you know what, Sherry, back to the printer question, I think that a lot of times, you know, it's hit or miss, even printer to printer in a certain series. So, you know, you might get one that's kind of a dud, and you might end up with one that is just fabulous. So, but I think she was smart. You know, she took them back, and she said her husband had done something, and he wasn't any help because he wasn't able to help her with all the lifting and carrying, and so she said she was on her own trying to get all of it back and forth. And you know, those printer boxes are kind of bulky because they have so much of the foam inserts to protect the printers. Okay, so this one goes in here. Now, I'm not super happy with this part. Oh, here we go. So we're going to lay that out flat and then fold it. Oh, we got a little bitty spot here that's not stuck. Whoops. And the glue escaped. What model do I have of an Epson printer? I've got a 4750, and then I've got another one. Hang on a second, let me look. Let me see if I can see what other printer I have here. Let me see how I do that. I've got another Epson, and it is, I like it just about as much. It was less expensive. I want to say it's a 2400. It's either 24 or 48. I think it's 24. I think. Don't quote me on that. Yes, I think you're right, Tamara. It really is. It's just, you know, so different. And a lot of people like the thing with like the HP printers that have the ink program. We had a not so great experience with that. And you know, when you're signed up for that instant ink program, we tried to put we ran out of the ink and tried to use the regular ink cartridges from the store. and it would not let us use them because we were signed up for the program. I think I read the other day, though, that really you can go in and tell it, man, this is not sticking, that you can go in and, and tell it that you need it to be different, and that may have come from, a problem like we experienced. So I don't know. And then we had one printer that needed to go to another family member's home, and that was a nightmare trying to get that changed and set up. And it's just like everything about that program just, I don't know. We had one computer or one printer that it was fine with, and then another one not. So I don't know. It's kind of like the printers themselves, right? It was hit or miss. You uses way too much ink. What kind do you have, Sherry? Do you just have one that you use the cartridges for? Now this got kind of wrinkly. Okay, so now all we have to do, actually, before I do anything else, I'm going to add a little bit of ink. I'm going to ink the edges a little bit before we start doing that. And this is just some of the vintage photo, the Distress Oxide. The Distress Oxide ink is part dye-based ink and part pigment ink. So, it takes a little bit longer to dry. It has a little bit more open time, which means it's, kind of more workable. And, pigment ink is one of the things that you would use if you were going to use, what am I trying to think of? Embossing powders. Embossing, because it stays wet a little bit longer, and you can use that with embossing powders. Now, I can just imagine all kinds of fun ways that we could dress this up. We can ink the edges, do quite a bit of, we've got some stickles. Where's my stickles, too? Just anything fun to add to it, right? That's one thing fun about printables, is then you just get to add all the fun stuff at the end, right? Which person with customer service? Oh my goodness. As many times as we had to call customer service, you would have thought we'd have had somebody that would be more helpful of the many times. Are the cartridges dated still? Oh, I don't know. And it knows when you need it. Yeah. We have, and this one that we've had a problem with, it constantly says that it can't find it, and so it won't print. It doesn't know anything about what's going on. Well, it's connected to the internet, and my daughter's able to print from it, but it doesn't like it. It's like, oh my goodness. And isn't it just amazing that it's those little things like that that are so annoying. They just printer problems are just a pain. I'm going to take my scissors and trim a tiny bit more off of this. Oh, yeah. Yes, Tamara, you sure, yeah, I tell you those, with the tank and how long it'll last, that is really a benefit. You guys, that glue isn't even hardly sticking as long as we're here working on this project. That's sad. And it is school glue. Maybe that's so if kids put it somewhere that it's not supposed to be, it'll come right back off. Oh my goodness. Isn't that funny? So we ran to get some, we had to grab some things for supper, and we were at the store, and so we had just run over to Walmart, and so I said, well, I've got to get a glue stick. And so my daughter was with me, one of the girls, and she says, the next thing I know, I go, okay, I found it. And she goes, did you find what you needed? I go, yeah. And so she comes over to where I am and she sees what I found and she goes, oh, that's not what I was looking for. And then as we passed by somewhere else, she thought I meant like hot glue sticks. I'm going, yeah, different kind. Hi there, Jimmy Lou. Different kind. So we're working on a tiny little booklet here. It's a printable and it's just a totally different construction process. So it's kind of fun. You know how we like books of all kinds, right, Jimmy Lou? Just give it a little bit of ink here. And then we'll, I don't know, I'm starting to think maybe we should do a little bit more of our decorating before we put it together, because we don't want it to be closing in on itself. And then okay, and then this is another signature. I love these little folded things being their signature. Tiny little signatures. How many of you like to do some inking of the edges? Tell me if you're inkers or not inkers. Okay. Just a little bit more. We'll go all around here. I'll tell you something else I've got sitting here on my desk that we could use too. I've got some of the Nouveau drops. And you know, if you like to make things that are like, if you like the enamel dot look, the Nouveau has several different kinds of their drops, and these are going to be perfect. Some of these colors, I love these. This is called Cloud 9, and because they're iridescent. I got these, and they have this iridescent look to them. And there's this pink. I don't know what this collection was called. And this one's called Love Potion. And this green is Dragon Scales. This one is Indigo Eclipse. Aren't those fun names? This is Fairy Wings. Oh, look. Perfect for what we're doing, right? And Gold Lux. Oh, these are perfect for this. Really fun looking colors. But what I was going to show you is, if you like, let me try and find one that'll, let's use this darker one. It looks like the gold might work best. This one, oh yeah, Sherry, me too. I love inking. Oh, we got two Sherrys. How cool. And Sue says she likes to do a little bit. Brenda's an inker. Sue, a little Tina. She likes to ink. Martha does. Let me go back. Oh, Tina. Hi, Tina. Tina does. Yeah, lots of fun. That's a lot of fun. So what you do is, okay, these are called the Dream Drops. And somebody who worked with Nouveau in another thing that I listened to one time, she talked about how the Dream Drops make, if you have problems with it, let me see if I can get down here closer, you guys. She said that this is the one to use kind of if you're starting out. Here, I'm going to make a few and then I'll pick it up. You know, something I have never done, I always think about doing it and then I never do, is to make some of these on something that when they dried, I could just lift them off of. Kind of like making your own, you know, little embellishments that you could just take off, and kind of like the little, like an enamel dots, right? Jimmy Lou, I know you're not much of an inker. But look at that. They just make, you just drop them down like that and they make the perfect little, little dot looking things. Isn't that cool? Okay. Yes, on acetate. Yeah, you could, I don't know. I wonder if they would come off on acetate. You might have to do them more on like one of the Teflon type mats maybe to get them to lift off the best when they're dry. I don't know. Maybe I'll play around with that and report back. Shall I report back on that? I should probably do that. But, okay, so now, let's see. She's so cute. Here's a little bit of this moon. Yeah, I'm kind of afraid to start doing this because we've got a few minutes. Let's see if we can add a little bit and then get it dry. I've got my dryer down here too. Maybe we'll put just a little bit of some of these colors, and you don't have to use them just to make the little dots. You can just kind of squeeze them out for a little bit of dimension on, on your products or on your projects. And just give it a little bit. And just kind of use it kind of like a little pin there. Well, you probably can't tell. And then one thing about it is then tap them down, like on the base, tap them down before you put them back on so that it kind of clears out the little nozzle. But that was kind of cute on that little thing. Oh, let's see. Oh, and the shimmer pins. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got all kinds of good stuff in here. This is one of my favorite things. These shimmer pins just add such a fabulous little shimmer and shine. Now this one is clear, I believe. Yep, this is clear. And so you can add them to things like, I'll put it like on the light here. And give it kind of a little shimmer, although it's got more of a little silvery color to it. But when it dries, it'll still be sparkly and give a little bit of shine. So any fun little things like that, you could put your shimmer things. These are always fun to use, like especially on some of these little fairy wings. That's always fun. I gotta put it down. I was gonna hold it up so you could see better, but I know these little gals are so tiny on here. It's hard for you to probably see what I'm doing down here, and I'm sorry about that. I've got my camera zoomed in as far as it'll go down there, but just a little. Let's see if we can get it to where you can see the shimmer. I don't know if you can. Can you see the moon? Look at how the moon, it made it a little bit of glossy. Little glossy look to it. Oh, that's cute because the little lanterns. Let me see if I can get that. There, can you see the shimmer on the lanterns up there? That's fun. Isn't that fun? Yes, right. The dry time is hard with some of those kinds of things. Yeah. Hi, Molly. And you can try to, speed up the dry time. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to mute me a second. I think they came in the other door, so the dogs have gone off the other way. Let's see what we can do. Oh, she'd be cute to put. This is just perfect for her little wings. Just fun. So you can just put all the little things. Let's see. What else could we do? We could also put some little sparkles. I love using little things that are like little pearls or little diamondy things. Oh my word. It's just family coming in. You would think we have robbers or something showing up on site. Oh my goodness. Little white little flakes. Are you getting snow? Oh my goodness. Yes, I have a real little yapper. I have a little Maltese and she's a yapper. And then my daughter's got a little, he's a Tawini. He's funny. But they all don't have any trouble at all guarding. They'll come to our rescue. Okay, let's see here. Let me see if we can get this dried a little. I'll probably use this and all of that. Glue stick will probably just completely release, right? Let me try and get it over here away from the microphone. Oh, that's about dry. I didn't put very much on that little moon though. The shimmer pen dries pretty quick though. It dries really fast. But you could just, you know, keep adding little things. You could add some little words. Let me grab some words right here. I don't know if I've got anything that would be fun to use on there or not. Maybe. Oh, here. I may have found some. Here's one. It says, lit by only the moon. That would be a good one for this. I need my craft knife. Oh, it's already out. Okay, lit by only the moon. That's a cute one. If I can get it out of there. Okay. Oh, well, this would be perfect on this one with the little moon. And you can just put little word strips. I didn't even realize there were lanterns over here too. Let's put a little more shimmer on here. But you know, just add some little glitz and sparkle and whatever you want to do, and I think that makes it really fun to add. But okay, so we better put it together here before our time is up, right? So this is really an interesting little way to do this. Okay, so this one, this is our front and back cover. So now what you do is you take your little pages, your signatures, you take them and you put them together however you want to put them. So you've got the little pages here, and so you can just you know, just arrange them however you want. Oh, I like her. I think I'd rather have her somewhere right here. So when you open the book, then she would be here. I kind of like that. Man, there's lots of these little lanterns. Lots of lanterns. Let's see if we do that. There's more lanterns. Wow. That's funny. I didn't even notice that. Oh, she's cute. And she can be with more lanterns. No, wait a second. Okay, there we go. And this would be the inside. We've got this little one here. Okay. Now, I'm not sure. I'm rethinking of whether that should be loose. I thought that would be best with those in the back, but well, I don't know. It's still going to have some pieces that are a little bit loose. So let's stack these up. You guys, are you ready to find out how you bind these together? You've seen how we, you know, use like the little pamphlet stitch with the the different ways to do that. Are you ready to see? Who's ready to see how we're going to bind it together? This is gonna, you're gonna be surprised if you haven't seen one of these. Okay, so now we're just gonna line it up here in the center, and you've got plenty of space on the top and the bottom for a little bit of a, you know, margin outside the little book pages. And now, da-da-da-da! Yes, Spectrum Noir does have some. It's a stapler. And the lady who designed them, that's what she said to do. This is how she puts them together. And you just put them in here. You know what, though? Let me grab a couple of clips. I just want to use a couple of clips on one side so that we make sure it stays where we want it. Because we'll want it to stay where it needs to go, right? I love these. I just got these, I think, at Dollar. Oh, look, I have a bonus magnet. So I'm just going to put this on here. Put one on the top and the bottom. Okay, and now we can put this in here and staple. And she just has you staple it. No, my gosh, it's been so long since I used my stapler. I don't even know how to eyeball where that goes. Let me look. Uh-oh, I'm afraid I'm going to mess this up. Well, I guess I can take my staple out, right? I don't know for sure where that goes. I don't really use a stapler very much anymore, but staple from the outside. Oh, that was way off. Way, way off. Both of them are way off. And that's the front. That's super annoying. This one could be... This one is in the middle inside, though, at least. Let's try this one again. See if we can get that out. Somebody came in and they go, I need your staple remover. I go, I don't have a staple remover. They go, how could you not have a staple remover? I don't know. It's just been a long made by Zig. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna try a do-over on this one. All right, let's try a do-over, see if we can get it more lined up there. I don't know. I'm really not, I don't know that I feel like it's gonna be any better. Oh, it was. Look, I got that almost perfect that time. Look, right in the center. But anyway, that's how she designed them to be, to just do it like that. And then you've got this teensy little book. Isn't that cute? And then you've just got your little booklet all here. And then you can just continue to, you know, to do it. Yeah, you guys, don't use that glue. Oh my word. And if you're just coming on now, and you wondered what glue don't use, you know what? Where's my trusty glue? You guys, you know I use my liquid glue. I should have just done that. I was just afraid that it would be so, just make such a mess. But it's not any more a mess than all the stuff falling apart, right? And here this one is coming up back here. Yeah, yeah, that school glue was not real helpful. But anyway, just, you know, play around and let's see if we've got some other little fun. Oh, this is cute. This is learning to fly. Aw. That's fun. Let me show you something else that's a fun thing to do, you guys. coming up after me is going to be Tamara. So let's just put this here. Oops, about to cover her little leg. No, we'll just cut the words. Now, a fun thing to do. Oh, I sure hope this is a good one. There. One of the things that you can do when you put words on like this is to just go around them. Just kind of trace around them. You don't have to be neat. In fact, it's almost better if you kind of go around again like it was meant to be. Like it was, you know, kind of messy, and then you can kind of do like fake stitches on it, like you're kind of holding on this, and then it's kind of like it was, oh my goodness, well, not that messy. I said you don't have to be really neat, right? You can just kind of make little marks like it might be stitches on there. And then just kind of go around. But then, if you've got it around, now this was kind of, since the label kind of sticks up a little bit, it's not so hard to do it around. But then you can kind of do like little things that make it look like stitches, little faux stitches, and you don't have to worry about it being super duper perfect. It's just something to, you know, be fun and just add something else to it, right? And then maybe I'll do some more X's here. That's, you know, just messy fun. Messy artsy stuff. Yeah, don't use stick glue, right? No kidding. The only reason I did that, Jimmy Lou, was because the lady who showed how to use her printables, that's what she did. And then I didn't have any stick glue. I didn't have any good stick glue. And so I just grabbed this, and I'm like, oh my word. I laughed saying, maybe it doesn't stick, so if kids get it stuck where it's not supposed to stick, it can get unstuck, right? Hi, Janet. How are you? You have pins that do stitch marks. Roller pins. What? What? Who's the printables from? Oh, let's see. I showed that in the beginning. She has an Etsy shop, and it's called, whoops, I gotta get in the thing. And her shop is Moonsteam Design Studio. And I think she had about 6 of these tiny little booklets that she had. But I just thought the way that they went together was so interesting. It was very different. I had never seen one, you know, put together like that. Here's another one coming apart. But anyway, we'll get it all glued together. We'll get it glued down and stuck where it needs to. But just have fun. You know, that's kind of the fun part of doing some of these, is you can just make it your own and just do little embellishments, and it's just for fun. You know, it's not anything, you know, it's not rocket science. You don't have to worry too much about, you know, what you're doing, or, you know, what's going on, or if you mess it up. I mean, it was just a piece of paper, right? And, you know, we can just do whatever we want with it. I'm so glad that you guys were here this evening. I've really enjoyed it. If I missed you, I'll go back and see who was here. I just see Jimmy Lou's thing again. Don't use stick glue, right? Oh my gosh. What was I thinking? I have my glue I love all the time. This that I use is called Reptile Glue, and I love it. It is great. And I put it from big bottles. I put it into these tiny little bottles with these needle nose applicator tips, because you don't really need a lot of it at all. and it just gives you enough time to wiggle whatever you are doing into place, right? Me too. Different colors. Oh, you guys, I don't need to know anything else about products that I may not have, right? No, the pages are not on cardstock. It's just like a presentation paper weight, which is just it's presentation paper. So it's just a printer paper weight. And that makes it easy to fold all up. And so that was, it is super easy to do like that, and it makes it fun. And this is really quite, all glued together in that many pieces. It feels quite substantial, in your hand, actually. So you guys, thanks so much for joining me, like I said, and we're off to see Tamara. She's our last person today in the event. So this was a fun thing, the Magical and Mystical event with the Woodpecker Paper Crafter events. And there's a link in the description to join the group, and there's no charge for that. So thanks so much, you guys, and I will see you. I'll be on tomorrow afternoon with Crafters in the Kitchen. So come join us for that too. Talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody.